Imagine this. You're alone in the dead of night, staring up at a sky full of stars that have watched over humanity for eons. But tonight, those stars stare back, and they're not friendly. What if I told you that right now, as you listen to this, something ancient and unimaginable is hurtling toward Earth? Buckle up, because this isn't just a story, it's a warning. My name is Dr. Elena Voss, and what I'm about to share changed everything I thought I knew about the universe. It started on a quiet evening in the Arizona desert, but it ended with the fate of our world hanging by a thread. Listen closely, because they might be listening too. It was late August, the kind of sweltering heat that makes the air shimmer like a mirage. I was at the Kitt Peak Observatory, buried in my work as an astrophysicist. My days blurred into nights, scanning the cosmos for signals, any whisper from the void that might prove we're not alone. SETI had been my life's passion, but after years of silence, doubt had crept in. Was I chasing ghosts? That night, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery oranges and purples, I settled into my chair with a cup of stale coffee. The telescope array hummed softly, its dishes pointed like eager ears toward the heavens. That's when it happened. A ping. Not just any signal, a burst of data unlike anything I'd seen. It wasn't random noise. It was structured, repeating in patterns that screamed intelligence. My heart raced as I checked the readings. The source? A point in space near Proxima Centauri, our closest stellar neighbor. But this wasn't a friendly hello. The signal carried embedded coordinates, Earth coordinates. Specifically, a remote spot in the Nevada desert, about 200 miles from Area 51. Coincidence? I didn't think so. I froze, staring at the screen. This can't be real, I muttered to myself. But the data didn't lie. I replayed the signal, and buried in the code was a visual, a holographic projection of a sleek metallic craft descending through Earth's atmosphere. It was no meteor. It was deliberate, alien. My mind screamed to report it, to call NASA, the government, anyone. But something held me back. What if this was classified? What if they already knew? I grabbed my keys and drove. The road to Nevada was a lonely stretch of highway, flanked by endless sand and jagged rocks. Stars wheeled overhead, mocking my solitude. By dawn, I reached the coordinates. A barren valley ringed by mountains, the kind of place where secrets go to die. I parked my Jeep and hiked in, my backpack heavy with a portable scanner and a flashlight. The air was crisp, carrying the faint scent of sagebrush. As I crested a ridge, I saw it. A massive crater, still smoking, as if something had crashed there hours ago. But it wasn't a crash. It was a landing. In the center of the crater sat a ship, unlike anything human-made. It was obsidian black, smooth as polished stone, with no visible seams or engines. It hummed faintly, like a living thing breathing. My scanner went wild, detecting energy signatures off the charts. I approached cautiously, my boots crunching on the scorched earth. "Hello?" I called out, feeling foolish. No answer. But as I got closer, a panel on the ship slid open with a hiss, revealing a dim interior glowing with ethereal blue light. That's when I saw them. Shadows moving inside, tall, slender figures with elongated limbs and skin that shimmered like liquid mercury. Aliens. Real, breathing extraterrestrials. One stepped forward, its eyes large and black, reflecting the stars like mirrors. It didn't speak with words. Instead, a voice echoed in my mind, telepathic and clear. "You are the seeker. We have waited." I stumbled back, my mind reeling. "Who are you? What do you want?" I demanded aloud, though I knew they could hear my thoughts. "We are the Watchers," the voice replied, "from the world you call Zorath, beyond your stars. We come not as invaders, but as guardians. Your planet is in peril. Peril? From what? My scientific curiosity overrode my fear. I stepped inside the ship, the air inside cool and charged with ozone. The interior was a marvel. Walls that shifted like living tissue, consoles that responded to thought. The alien, whom I later learned called itself Lyrax, gestured for me to sit. Through a mental link, it shared visions, flashes of Earth's history, ancient civilizations rising and falling, all under the watchful eyes of these beings. They had been visiting Earth for millennia, Lyrax explained. The pyramids, Stonehenge, even the Nazca lines. They were markers left by the Watchers to guide humanity. But now, something had changed. A rival faction from their world, the Ravagers, sought to exploit Earth. The Ravagers were conquerors, bioengineers who twisted life forms into weapons. They had detected humanity's radio signals decades ago and saw our planet as a ripe harvest for their experiments. Why tell me? I asked, my voice echoing in the chamber. Because you listened, Lyrax responded. Your signals reached us first. You must help us stop them. The Ravagers' vanguard arrives in days. Days! My stomach twisted. This wasn't a first contact dream. It was a nightmare. Lyrax showed me more. Images of cities in ruins, humans mutated into grotesque hybrids, the sky filled with swarms of biomechanical ships. But the Watchers offered alliance, technology to defend Earth, knowledge to advance our species. In return, we had to trust them. I left the ship with a device, a small crystalline orb that pulsed with energy. It was a communicator, linking me directly to Lyrax. Gather allies, it instructed. The government hides the truth, but there are those who know. Back in my Jeep, I drove straight to Las Vegas, the nearest city, my mind buzzing. Who could I trust? I thought of my old colleague, Dr. Marcus Hale, a UFO researcher who'd been blacklisted for his theories. I called him from a payphone, paranoid about being tracked. Elena, it's 3 a.m. This better be good. It's better than good, Marcus. It's proof. Meet me at the old diner off Route 95. He arrived an hour later, disheveled and wide-eyed. Marcus was in his 50s, with a beard that screamed conspiracy theorist. But he was brilliant. I showed him the orb, and it projected a hologram of the ship. His jaw dropped. Holy hell, Elena. This is it, the smoking gun. We talked through the night. Marcus revealed he'd been investigating similar signals for years. The government knows, he said. Area 51 isn't just a myth. They've got captured tech, maybe even bodies. But they're covering it up because they're scared. Scared of what? According to Marcus, there had been incidents, crashes in Roswell, abductions in the 70s. But the Watchers' story added a new layer. Not all aliens were the same. Some were benevolent, others predatory. We decided to infiltrate a network of whistleblowers Marcus knew. Our first stop? An underground bunker in the Mojave Desert, run by a former CIA operative named Sarah Klein. The drive was tense. As we sped through the night, I glanced at the orb. It glowed faintly, and Lyrax's voice whispered in my mind. Hurry! The Ravagers approach! We arrived at the bunker just before dawn. Sarah was a tough woman in her 60s, with scars that told stories she wouldn't share. She scanned us with a device that looked suspiciously alien. You're clean, she grunted, leading us inside. The bunker was a labyrinth of concrete halls, lined with monitors and artifacts, pieces of wreckage, strange alloys, even a preserved hand that didn't look human. Sarah confirmed everything. The Watchers have been allies, she said. They helped us during World War II, feeding intel on Nazi tech. But the Ravagers, they're the real threat. They've been probing our defenses, abducting people for experiments. The government's deal with the Watchers is fragile. Tech for silence. A deal? My blood ran cold. So world leaders knew? Sarah showed us files, classified reports of Ravager scouts shot down over the Pacific. Their ships reverse-engineered for Black Ops. But the vanguard Lyrax mentioned was massive. A fleet hidden in the Oort cloud, waiting to strike. Why now? I asked. Sarah leaned in. Your signal, Elena. SETI's broadcasts woke them up. They think we're ready for harvest. Our DNA, our resources. The Watchers want to help, but they need human agents. That's where you come in. Marcus and I exchanged glances. This was bigger than us. Sarah outlined a plan. We'd use the orb to contact the Watchers' main ship, orbiting invisibly above Earth. Then, we'd sabotage a Ravager probe detected landing in Alaska. It sounded insane. But what choice did we have? As we prepared to leave, alarms blared. Sarah's monitors lit up. Intruders, government black vans approaching. We bolted for the exit, but it was too late. Armed agents in tactical gear stormed the bunker, shouting orders. Hands up! You're under arrest for treason! In the chaos, I activated the orb. A pulse of energy surged, disabling their weapons with an electromagnetic burst. We fought our way out, Marcus tackling one agent, Sarah firing a stun gun. I ran for the jeep, heart pounding. As we sped away, helicopters thundered overhead, searchlights piercing the dawn. They're on to us, Marcus yelled over the engine roar. The government must have intercepted your signal. Lyrax's voice echoed. They fear the truth. Proceed to the northern coordinates. We will provide cover. We drove north, evading roadblocks and drones. The landscape shifted from desert to forests as we crossed into Idaho, then Montana. Exhaustion set in, but adrenaline kept us going. Along the way, Marcus shared his own close encounter, a childhood abduction he'd suppressed. They took me aboard a ship, he confessed. Showed me stars I'd never seen. But it was the Ravagers. They implanted something, memories, warnings. That's why I hunt the truth. His story chilled me. Were we all pawns in a cosmic game? By nightfall, we reached Alaska's wilderness, a frozen expanse of snow and pines. The probe's landing site was a glacial valley, coordinates beamed directly from the orb. As we hiked in, the temperature plummeted, our breaths forming clouds. There it was, the Ravager probe, a twisted mass of organic metal burrowed into the ice like a parasite. It pulsed with red light, tendrils extending into the ground, perhaps mining or scanning. We have to destroy it, Sarah said, pulling out explosives from her pack. But as we approached, the probe activated. Holographic defenses shimmered to life. Force fields and automated drones swarming like angry hornets. One drone fired a beam, grazing Marcus's arm. He cried out, blood staining the snow. Cover me, I shouted, dashing forward with the orb. Lyrax guided me. Channel the energy. Focus your will. I held the orb high, and a beam of blue light erupted, shattering the drones. Sarah planted the charges while I held off the defenses. But then, the probe opened, revealing its core, a writhing mass of biomechanical horror. Tentacles lashed out, grabbing Sarah. She screamed as it pulled her in. No, Marcus fires his pistol, but it was useless. I concentrated harder, the orb amplifying my thoughts. A psychic wave hit the probe, stunning it. Sarah broke free, gasping, her leg mangled. We detonated the charges. The explosion lit up the night, sending shockwaves through the valley. The probe crumpled, its red glow fading to black. But victory was short-lived. As the smoke cleared, a shadow fell over us, a massive Ravager ship descending from the clouds, cloaked until now. It was enormous, like a floating city of thorns and spikes. Beams of light scanned the ground, locking onto us. Run, Lyrax urged. Our reinforcements arrive. We fled into the woods, the ship pursuing with ground-shaking booms. Trees splintered as energy blasts rained down. Marcus lagged, his wound slowing him. "Go on without me," he yelled. I wouldn't leave him. Grabbing his arm, we pushed deeper into the forest. Sarah limped ahead, radioing for help that wouldn't come. The air grew thick with static, and suddenly a fleet of Watcher ships uncloaked above. Sleek, silver vessels engaging the Ravager behemoth. The sky erupted in battle, lasers crisscrossing, explosions blooming like fireworks. One Watcher ship dove low, a ramp extending. "Get in!" a telepathic command boomed. We scrambled aboard, the ship lifting off just as the Ravager fired a devastating volley. Inside, Lyrax greeted us in person, its form towering yet graceful. "You have succeeded. The probe was a scout. Its destruction delays their invasion." But Sarah was fading, her injuries severe. The Watcher's medical tech stabilized her, nanites weaving through her veins like magic. As we orbited Earth, I gazed down at the blue marble below. "What now?" I asked. Lyrax's eyes gleamed. "The war begins. The Ravagers will not relent. We must unite humanity, reveal the truth." Marcus nodded, bandaged but resolute. "The governments will fight it. They've hidden this for too long." He was right. Back on Earth, we went underground, broadcasting from hidden locations. I leaked footage from the orb to the internet, videos of the ships, the battle, the aliens. The world exploded in chaos. Riots, denials from officials, but also awakenings. People reported sightings, abductions, signals. SETI went viral. My name splashed across headlines as the woman who called the stars. But the Ravagers struck back. Strange events plagued the globe. Crop failures from bioplagues, blackouts caused by EMP bursts, even mutated animals rampaging in cities. The Watchers provided countermeasures, shields for key sites, vaccines derived from their tech. I became a liaison, traveling between hidden bases, meeting world leaders in secret. One night, in a bunker beneath Geneva, I confronted a UN delegate. "You knew," I accused. "All this time, deals with aliens while the world suffered." He sighed, aged beyond his years. "We thought we could control it. The Watchers gave us advances, cures for diseases, energy sources. But the Ravagers, they're unstoppable." "Not if we fight together," I said. The turning point came in the Pacific. Satellite imagery showed the Ravager fleet emerging from the Oort cloud. Hundreds of The response was overwhelming. Nations mobilized, sharing tech under Watcher guidance. Fighter jets equipped with alien weapons took to the skies. I piloted a hybrid craft myself, trained by Lyrax in zero-gravity sims. The battle raged over the Atlantic. Ravager ships descended like locusts, their bioweapons unleashing horrors, swarms of engineered creatures that devoured metal and flesh. Our forces countered with energy lances and psychic disruptors. I dodged through the chaos, targeting a command vessel. "For Earth!" I shouted, firing a torpedo that breached its hull. Explosions rippled across the fleet. The Ravagers faltered. Their leader, a colossal entity of fused machine and organism, broadcasting a final threat. "You delay the inevitable. We will return." With a massive warp burst, the surviving Ravagers fled, vanishing into hyperspace. Cheers echoed through comms channels. We had won, for now. Back on solid ground, the world changed. Disclosure led to a new era. Alliances with the Watchers, shared knowledge accelerating technology. Diseases eradicated, clean energy abundant. But shadows lingered. Abductions continued in remote areas, whispers of Ravager sleeper agents among us. Marcus, Sarah, and I formed a task force, hunting remnants. Lyrax became a friend, sharing stories of Zorath, a world of crystal spires and eternal twilight. Your species is resilient, it said, worthy of the stars. Yet doubt gnawed at me. Were the Watchers truly guardians, or did they have their own agenda? One evening, as I stared at the night sky from Kitt Peak, the orb activated unbidden. A new signal, not from Lyrax, but deeper space. A voice, ancient and cold. The Watchers lie. We are the true saviors. Come to us. My blood froze. Another faction? The cycle continued. The stars stared back, full of secrets. And so, dear listener, that's my story. But is it over? Look up tonight. Listen for the signals, because the shadows from the stars are always watching. If you see something, tell someone, before it's too late. What do you think? Is this fact or fiction? Hit like if you're hooked. Subscribe for more tales from the unknown. And comment below. Have you ever seen something in the sky you couldn't explain? Stay vigilant. The universe is vast, and it's coming for us.